hold you accountable for the strategy I told you about, like the 10-minute strategy for attendance. If you come after 10 minutes, I'm going to write your name. And it depends, I might not mark you as attendant because you're late. And I will tell you you're late. So please be early, log in early so you are not like attending and marked absent. I don't want you to get like all warning or things like notifications from the department about that. So 39, let's start with that. I'm gonna be sharing the screen in a second. Okay. So the first part, section A, a big part of section A, talk about an example that I'm not gonna go over. I'm just gonna give you the meaning and the tense of the sentence because that's what's important. And you'll have plenty of examples too. So let's see. So we'll be talking about if sentence. It's translated to إذا الشرطية. تعرفوها إذا الشرطية. In its English form, it's if, and it usually comes with a sentence after it. That sentence that comes after it is usually in the past. It's not. It's less likely that it's in present. But it does come in present. It's just more often in past. So that's first. The second thing that I'm going to talk about is its meaning. What does if sentence mean? Because as a future translators, interpreters, you'll need to figure out the meaning of the sentence and the intentions of the speaker in order to translate, interpret successfully. So the meaning of the if sentence is as follows. It's used for imagining things that will not happen or are not expected to happen. That's to say, we use it to imagine something that will not happen or less likely to happen, or we don't expect that to happen. So that thing or that activity or that action that we're talking about, we don't think it's going to happen. And that's why we are using if plus past to convey that meaning. So my biggest point here is look at the form. It's if plus past. This is form. The function is it's present. This sentence is in present. And I told you last year, I've told you so many times, there is a difference between form and function. Form is just the shape and the words. It's like more of morphology than anything. And function is semantics. And sometimes they come together. It's past form and it conveys past meaning, and that's just fine. But other times, and that's when it gets problematic, when they are not like the same. So the form will be something and the meaning will be just different. It could be the opposite. And this is a good example of that. So if plus past is present sentence. Although we have past, but this sentence, the function, the meaning of the sentence is in present. You'll see this in the examples. It gets clearer. If we went, if there was, If you found all these sentences are in the past, the form is in the past, but the meaning is not the past. The meaning is present. We're talking about now. What would you do if you want a lot of money? What I'm trying to say, or what the speaker is trying to say, it's less likely that people would like the addressee would want a lot of money. Want is the past form of the verb want. So that's the most important things about if sentence. The other thing about if sentence, there's a note here that says what comes after if is was or were. We could use either. Like it tells you in 39, it will go on and tell you there. I'm gonna tell you right away. After if we have a verb to be in the past, it could be was or were. Where is more common because of I, but it's was is correct too. So this is just where is more common. Okay, let's see the comparison. If I find or if I found, what's the difference? Let me tell you the difference from the beginning. Both of these sentences are in the present. No matter the form, what the form is, they are both in present. The first one, though, the meaning is different. The first one, though, we're talking about something that's likely to happen. That's something that we are expecting to happen. The second one is something that is not likely to happen, which is something that we are not expecting to happen. So I think I left my watch at your house. If you find it, call me or let me know. That sentence, we usually, when we visit people, we forget rings and watches and phones. And that's just normal. But if you found a wallet in the street, what would you do with it? That's less likely. Like usually people find stuff when you're visiting, people find your stuff. But in the street, that's less likely to happen. When you drop a wallet, yeah, it's hard that you'd find it, or somebody like you're addressing would find it. So it's just less likely. So you're not expecting that thing to happen. So that is the most important part. The other important part, I feel like the form function difference here is the most important part about this lecture. This note right here, mark it, it's important. Just write important next to it because it's very important with examples. So that's important. The other important thing about this lecture, or another important note, is that we usually use would with the if sentence. Like, as you know, the if sentence is divided into two parts, the if part and the other phrase. So we have two phrases that form the if sentence. When we use would with it, usually before, look at this. I would be very scared. Would is right here. Then comes the if. If somebody pointed a gun at me. So this phrase and this phrase, there are two phrases that form the if sentence, and would is not next to it. Look, it's not close to it. But there's an exception. Normally, see? Normally, often, usually, that means that's just what we are used to do. But there are exceptions. This is one of them. When we are asking for things, we use if and would in the same sentence. I'd be very grateful. I would be very happy if you'd let me know your decision. That's an exception. So you see there's if and would in the same phrase. This is an exception. Mark it as an exception. هذا استثناء. هذا ليس القاعدة. القاعدة هنا وهذا هنا. هذه النقطة هي استثناء فقط. C.
بس ما لاحظتش. كنت لا طالبهم زمان. وافق عليهم.
اوكي. متأخرين ميسر. محمد فاهم ميسر. الطلاب اللي قبلتهم قبل ثواني محمد فاهم أتوقع وميسر وبعد مجموعة طلاب. أنتوا جايين متأخرين. مسلم أنت كاتب لي بال44 دقيقة. إحنا قلنا 10 دقائق يعني من 30 لل40. فبعد ال40 أنا ما شيك دخولكم. بالأحرى أنا حاليا دكتب أسماءكم حتى أشوف وضعكم إذا تكرر هذا الغياب بعد ما نسجلكم حضور. نور إن شاء الله ما تتكرر الحالة. أنا كتبت عموما أسماءكم. أوكي. نرجع إلى سي سكشن سي. نفس النوت يرجع يعيدها يقول لكم إذا نفي أكيد إذا نفي همين الود ما تصير مع الإف نفس الحالة سواء الود منفية أو مثبتة. إحنا عادة تكون في فريز آخر في جملة أخرى ما عدا هذا الإكسبشن. The last note in this unit is could and might. We'll go on about this, and I think in number 40, unit number 40, we'll go back to this. But I want to tell you that these modal verbs sometimes we can use them interchangeably. That's to say, could, might, and would, the one that we're talking about. They could sometimes mean similar things, and that's why we could use them just interchangeably. The exercises I want you to answer are 38.1, 38.2. التمارين الداخلة بالتحضير التمرين الأول والتمرين الثاني. Do you have any questions about this unit?
دكتورة بلا زحمة.
Okay. Yeah. Just make it short never. If it's long, keep it for tomorrow. If it's short, go ahead.
بس section B هذا هو أصلاً استثناء من الاستثناء لأن يقول we do not normally use يعني هاي مو بالطبيعي إنه نستعملها بس ممكن نستعملها وممكن باستثناءات أخرى إنه نستعملها بهذه الطريقة. هيك القصد؟ section B.
لحظة خلي علي الصوت يمكن ما سمعت بشكل. أوكي لحظة. ما افتهمت شو تقصدين يعني تقول
كاتب we do not normally use إنه would in the if part of the sentence إنه هو مو من الطبيعي إنه نستخدم would بالجملة بس ممكن نستعملها. فهي هاي أصلاً استثناء لو بس اللي بط اللي وراها هي الاستثناء.
لا أنا فهمتكم عليا هو صايغها بطريقة غريبة يعني ليش أنا صغتها بأكثر من طريقة.
يعني هاي we do not normally use إنه شلون ما ناخذها إنه
لا تاخذوها يعني هي شو هو قايل لكم إياها بس هي ممكن بالترجمة قايل لكم إحنا مو بالعادة نستخدمها بالعادة ما نستخدمها مع ويا الإصفار يعني بالعادة إحنا نستخدمهم بشكل مفصول. هو هذا اللي يريد يقوله normally إحنا نستخدمهم بشكل مفصول. هذا اللي رايد يقوله.
تمام. بس ممكن نستعملهن وكاتبين الاستثناء
هذا
وراها.
الاستثناء إذا يجون سوا بجملة هذا الاستثناء عندك. غيرهم نستخدمهم بشكل منفرد، كل واحدة بفريز، ما يصيرون سوا ما عدا الاستثناء of course.
تمام. شكرا ست. ها هي رحمة الله والديك.
منتظر كنت تريد تسأل. نعم منتظر. كانت عندك مداخلة.
Could you repeat section C, please?
What do you mean section B you mean? What do you mean by
C.
Okay. هو هذا اللي سألت نفسه عليه زميلتك، إنه إحنا بالعادة راح أشرحها بالعربي. إحنا بالعادة هاي الwould ويا الإف sentence بالعادة طبيعي بشكل normally نستخدمهم منفصلات، يعني الإف بجملة والwould بجملة واثنيناتهم يصيرون الإف sentence. هذه بالعادة مثل هاي I would be very scared if somebody pointed a gun at me. هذا مثال. لكن اكو استثناءات لهذا القاعدة. الاستثناء انه هم في حالة طلب من نريد نطلب شيء من شخص معين نقدر نخليهم سوا بجملة واحدة. هذا الاستثناء. هذه كل الفكرة.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
You are welcome.
May I, Professor?
Yes please. لابتوبي مثل ما تشوفون معلق فما اقدر اروح على الاسماء، ما اعرف ليش ما دا يخليني، فاي على الصوت يعني سألوني.
Okay.
بس
Professor, about section B, the same question.
نعم.
We don't normally use with in the if part of the sentence. يعني هو هذا يقصد انه دائما ما نستخدم الود ويا الاف، لانه جوا بالامثله بين قوسين يقول يعني من ذاكر المثال I would be very scared if somebody pointed a gun at me. بين قوسين ايش كاتب not if somebody would point، يعني ما يصير اصلا، مو لا يمكن هذا.
هو القاعده ما يصيرون سوا. نعم هو القاعده ما يصيرون سوا، بس اكو استثناء لهذه القاعده في حاله الطلب اللي هو هذا الاستثناء هنا
بالاسك.
حاله الطلب اكو استثناء. هاي شوف would واف بجمله بس.
تمام.
يعني احنا نفس هو صايغها بطريقه غريبه هنا، يعني انا ليش صغتها لكم بعده طرق ردتكم تنتبهون انه بالعاده هن مو سوا، هن مفترقات، بس مرات يكونون سوا بهذا الاكسبشن. اوكي 39 keeps going about if, but in this unit we're talking about if when it's in the past. Let's see. بالأحرى هذا اليونت عبارة جزء كبير منه عبارة عن تكرار لليونت اللي فات. النوت number 1, it's again when we are imagining things we use if plus past. The form is in the past, the meaning is in the present. That's the note. And here he gives you example. There are many things I would like to do if I had more time. It's the form is in the past, the meaning it's like what they're trying to say, I don't have time to do that many things. That's it. That's the meaning. And he keeps giving you examples that, I mean, I like examples. They're good for you. If I did not want to go to the party, I wouldn't go. That's to say, if plus past here means I don't want to go. Like right now, I don't want to go to that party. So it's this section A is just a repetition. It's just a review for what's been said in 39. Section B is more interesting. It talks about wish in a sentence. So wish, for wish, it's similar to would, it's similar to if, even in the would part, like let's not say that and confuse you again. So if it's used in the same way as if, so when we use wish, the verb, the sentence, the phrase that comes after it is usually, normally, often in the past. Present, just like if. And here we have examples. Oh, the meaning, let's read for you the meaning. We use wish to say that we regret something. The meaning is different. It's used that we use it to say that we are regretting something. For example, I wish I knew Paul's phone number. The form, look at the form. I knew, that's past. The meaning, now. I'm regretting right now. I'm talking about now. The meaning is I don't know it and I regret it. That's the meaning. Number C, it's the same note. It's was and were note. We could use was or were after if sentence. I've told you about this. If I were you, I wouldn't buy that coat. If I was you, I wouldn't buy that coat. They're the same meaning. Both are grammatical. Where is more common. أكثر الدارجة أكثر هي الوير لكن اثنينهم صحيحة. Again إعادة الود مع الإف ما نستخدمهم سوية بعد الوش مثل حالها حال الإف sentence الوش بالوش sentence الإف والود ما يكونون متقاربين. أكو حالات خاصة ممكن نستخدم الود مع الوش مثل I wish you'd listen وهذا الموضوع راح نتحدث عنه في unit 41. So هذا الإكسبشن راح نسولف عليه ب 41 ولذلك لا نستبق الأحداث. بالعادة بالوضع الطبيعي wish و would ما يكونون سوا بس هم بها استثناءات مثل الإف. شلون الإف في حالة الطلب في حالة السؤال أكو استثناء هنا هم عندنا حالة استثناء. آخر نوت بهذا اليونت هي هذه. Could sometimes mean would you, would be able to, what it could mean was were able to. They are both like close, but they're different. Like, I don't know, like he wanted to tell you that could sometimes comes in these two different meanings. So make note of that. The exercises that I want you to answer are 39.1, 39.3.
Professor,
Yes.
can you repeat section A, please?
What was that?
Section A, please, if you can. Explain again.
Review, you mean?
If you can.
Yeah,
Section A.
It talks about the if sentence. It's just a review. Section A is just a review of 38. هو أصلا إعادة يعني إحنا حكينا بيونت 38 قلنا إنه ما بعد الإف sentence يكون شكلا in a form it's in the past والمعنى هو المضارع. هذا الشيء الوحيد اللي موجود بسكشن A مع أمثلة، مع الكثير من الأمثلة. التمارين الداخلة مثل ما قلت لكم sorry about this. التمارين الداخلة مثل ما قلت لكم هم التمرين الأول والثالث فقط. تمرين 39 هو إعادة، هو مجرد إعادة. الشيء الوحيد الجديد هو الوش سنتنس اللي هي معناها شكلها بالبداية اللي يأتي بعدها ماضي ومعناها هو للريجريشن نستخدمها اللي هو الندم. والشيء الجديد الثاني بسكشن 39 هو meaning of could. It could mean would be able to or was were able to. Again, the exercises are 39 number 1, 39 number 3. As we talked about in the 2 units before, like present, someone might ask, what if I want to say something in present? I want the function to be, sorry, I want to say something in the past. I want the function to be in the past. So here's our answer would be. We use past perfect to convey the past. Of course, we are talking about if and wish. So far, we're talking about if and wish. If we want to make a sentence in the past or make it function in the past, we use past perfect. That's to say, we use had plus a verb in past participle, like had known, had been, and had gone. For example, I didn't see you when you passed me in the street. If I would seen you, of course, I would have said hello. So what I'm trying to say is, I didn't see you, and that's something happened in the past, and that's why I didn't say hello. So what we are talking about is something that happened in the past. The form is past perfect. The function or the meaning of the sentence is in the past. I didn't go out last night. I would have gone out if I hadn't been so tired. That's to say, I was so tired to go outside last night. If he had been looking where he was going, he wouldn't have walked into the wall. But he wasn't looking up. Obviously, someone hit the wall. In these sentences, compare that if I was hungry, for example, I'm not hungry. If I was hungry, I would eat something. That's now. Although the form is in past, but the function is now. The second sentence, I was not hungry. If I had been hungry, I would have eaten something. Had been hungry, if I had been hungry. This sentence is past perfect, as you see, and it conveys a past meaning. Again, Raymond comes and tells you that we do not use if with the would in the same sentence. Like if and would are supposed to be in two different sentences. If I had seen you, I would have said hello. That's normal. We cannot say if I would have seen you. That's just wrong. And here is a very good note. That's why I don't like abbreviation. لذلك أنا أمنعكم من الاختصار. الاختصار sometimes يكون confusing. مثلا هاي الapostrophe دي ممكن أن تعني would وممكن تعني had. ولذلك من تكتبوها بالامتحان بهاي السنتنس أنا ما أعرف أنتوا إيش تعنون would أو had. ولذلك كما اعتدنا يعني الapostrophe I think abbreviated is wrong. When I see it I just deduct a point. من أشوف اختصار تلقائيا بالامتحان أنقصكم درجة لأن الاختصارات ممكن تكون confusing for me and for you. مثل طريقتنا العادية الطبيعية يعني متعودين على هذه طريقة إنه لا للاختصار. Section C. So section A تكلمنا عن إذا نريد نعمل sentence بالpast من if. section C يتحدث شلون نسوي الpast من wish. الwish sentence. How to make past of the wish sentence? Of course, it's the same way as the if sentence. We just put it in a past perfect form and we've got a past. Let's see. I wish I would known that Gary was ill. I would have gone to see him. In this sentence, I didn't go to see that person, that Gary, because I didn't know he was sick. So the form here is in the past and the function here is in the past too. So they go together. I feel sick. I wish I hadn't eaten so much cake. Here again, the form is past perfect. The function is past perfect. And another note, do not use would have after wish. We usually don't use would have after the wish sentence. I'm sorry, like I'm reading off my book because the view here is kind of, I don't know, there's no sections, but there's supposed to be sections in here. I'm trying to figure out why, but I don't know why this is happening on my PDF file. But there should be a section. See, now it is. Okay, there we go. So here, in this note, it tells you not to use would have after wish. That's to say, with wish, we don't use would have.
Why?
Because of the meaning.
It's correct in grammar.
It is correct. It seemed correct to you. But they communicate different things. Like they both are used, like wish is used for communicating regrets that thing that didn't happen, and wish is just sofa, like for future. They just don't come together. If they come together, it would be weird. It's just strange. Just try replacing had been with would have, and you'll see the difference. The
Just
weather
this word
is cold.
or another word with the
Okay?
same meaning, wish, with the meaning of wish.
It's for regression. I told you.
Mhm.
Uh, the weather was cold when we were on a holiday. We usually use a, although it's at, but I'm used to saying a holiday. I wish, I wish it would have been warmer. Uh, it's just not correct. So you might hear it like in a song, a movie, a book, or read it in a book, and like, but it's not grammatical. It's just not correct.
Wish and another words have the same meaning of wish, or
What do you
just
mean?
wish. I
Oh,
mean,
just wish. No,
yes,
this exception is just wish.
just wish. Okay.
Yeah, this is correct. Some verbs act differently, and that's just part of their personality. D. Section D talks about comparison between would plus verb in simple form and would have done. That's to say, present and what? What's the form of would have done? Do you know, Muhammad?
Yes,
Would
Professor.
do is present. What would have done? Is that past or what?
Perfect.
Oh, it's past perfect.
Perfect.
Correct.
Perfect. Yes.
It's past perfect. I would gone to the party last night. I would be tired. That's in present. But if I would gone to the party last night, I would have met lots of people. This sentence is in the past. The difference between them is this verb in the present and this verb in the past perfect. I don't know why he's comparing to you these two, because they are obviously, it's very clear. There is no clash in form and function in here. But he just wanted to make it clear that in these sentences, would plus do or would plus have done, they are different in tense formation. Um, that's for this note. The last note in chapter 40 is would have, could have, or might have. Actually, the difference between would, could, and might, because they all have in them. These modal verbs are really close in meaning. They don't have the same exact meaning though. They are close. These are closer, like even closer. Would and could, they are so close. Might, it's just more, they are both used for possibility, of course. And might is used for even things that are less possible. He just wanted to tell you here why he mentioned in section 38, if you go to page 76, you'll see at the end, in the last note, he said we can use could or might instead of what. Like, they are basically the same thing. Here, he comes here to say that they have similar meaning. It's not exactly the same, but they have similar meaning, and that's why we could use them interchangeably. Do you have any question about this section? Okay, the most
Yes.
important. نعم تفضل.
Sorry, Professor.
تفضل.
About section C, why specifically the word wish? Why not hope or another word have the same meaning? Why just
Because
wish?
wish is different. Is one of the verbs that act differently. ليش wish مو غيرها؟ لأن wish تستخدم بطريقة للتعبير عن الندم. هي مميزة، هي كفعل مميز، لذلك أنتوا دا تاخذوه.
في حالة الندم تستخدم فقط وش يعني؟ in English.
نستخدم هواي طرق غير الوش، بس wish is one of them.
نعم. متعرفين دكتورة يعني وش يعني هواية كلمات بالإنجليزية تحمل نفس المعنى.
نعم ممكن تأتي I wish you a happy holiday اللي هي تمني، ممكن تأتي بمعنى التمني.
نعم.
لكن بالمعنى التمني اللي يأتي بعدها هو present، اللي الجملة اللي بعدها present. احنا بدنا نحكي عن wish اللي بعدها past، اللي حددنا الجملة اللي بعد wish. What's after wish? If it's for wishing, just تمني, we use wish plus present. That's just you can wish people good thoughts or prayers or anything. But wish after it, the past, when the sentence after wish in the past, it's used to convey regression. That's to say we're regretting something. التمارين الداخلة من يونت 40، التمرين الأول والتمرين الثاني. So 40.1 and 40.2. Okay, in a nutshell, the exercises 30 for unit 38, number 1 and 2, 39, 1 and 3, 40, 1 and 2. التمارين مطلوبة إن شاء الله باكر محاضرتكم الساعة ب6:30. التمارين آخر ردود أقبلهم أصححهم وأخلي عليهم درجات هي ردود يعني مثلا 6 و15 دقيقة و20 دقيقة. هذا آخر فترة عندكم تقريبا 24 ساعة لحل التمارين. I'm aware you have like 6 exercises to answer, but they are all important. I didn't know. I didn't want to like make them less. So I'm hoping in coming units, I'll try to give you less homework. I'm aware it's not a week, it's just a day. So we'll try to do that.
دكتورة عفوا.
نعم.
يمكن بسبب الجدول صارت بعض يعني الأمور شوي غير منتظمة. الجدول بسبب تغييره صار عندنا النحو اليوم وباكر نحو، فإذا
نعم.
كل أسبوع راح تكون محاضرة الأحد تحضيرها اثنين كلش difficult for us. لو يصير الاثنين وحلها الأحد هيك حتى أكو وقت نراجع ونقرأ اللي حضرتكم.
هي شانت العام وهذا كان الطبيعي، بس جدول القسم حضوري والكتروني كلش صعب ترتيبه. ولذلك صار النحو يوم نعم. يعني يوم بعد يوم.
هو ما في مشكلة يوم بعد يوم دكتورة العفو، بس محاضرة التحضير يعني خلي تكون يعني بالعكس إذا فهمتونا عفوا يعني
ما نقدر لأن محاضرتنا طويلة اليوم. يعني مثلا نشرح 3 يونتات بساعة ونحل تمارين بساعة ونص.
نعم.
مو الشرح يطول أكثر.
صح. أوكي.
إحنا نريد نشرح وبعدين نحل. ثانيا أقدر أعطيكم ذني التمارين تحلوهن بدون شرح تقدرون؟
لا طبعا دكتورة، بس مو هي يعني ما أعرف شنو الحل تقترحين.
ما عندي مشكلة إذا تقترح هون اشرح لكم بساعه واحل لكم، ما عندي أي، بس انا اشوفها هاي تصعب عليكم. انا اللي اريد اسويه انه اعطيكم تمارين اقل، يعني تحضيركم يكون اقل، ولذلك ما تكونون يعني واسابيع ما نعطيكم يعني مثلا تمرين او تمرينين، تمارينكم تتقلل، فعادي تقدرون ب 24 ساعه تقدرون تحلوهم. هذا الحل اللي اني اقترحه يعني.
تمام دكتور، اوكي، اللي يشوفه مناسب.
وعندي حل اخر انه نخلي ورك مثلا، سوري، نخلي الهوم ورك ليس فقط على التمارين، يعني نخلي مثلا نعطيكم سؤال وتجاوبوه هوم ورك مثلا،
والله يا ريت
مو
والله، يا
الا
ريت
تمارين
يعني
مثلا
كلش محتاجين هذا الشيء.
نخلي هيك دفكه، ان اجيب لكم تمرين اخليه بالموديل وانطيكم وقت يصير شلون الكويز، فما ناخذ
وعليه نقاش يدور او كذا هيك، والله كلش رايدين هيك شيء، كلش محتاجين هيك شيء بالجرامر دكتوره.
النقاش يكون بيوم حل
نعم
التمارين، يعني باكر ان شاء
نعم،
الله راح يكون وقت انه تسالون اسئله اطول اكثر.
ممنونين دكتوره، تمام.
اهلا بك. منو عنده سؤال؟ any questions like short questions not the lengthy one. دائما ضمن الاسئله الطويله اللي بيها نوع من النقاش الى يوم حل التمارين، لان تكون عندنا ساعه لحل التمارين، بس اذا عندكم سؤال بسيط يعني اليوم هو اليوم المناسب. أنا راح أخذ حضوركم as I told you. أنا خلصت حاليا بساعة تقريبا، النص ساعة الباقية راح أخذ حضوركم بيها. عرفت أصواتكم، راح أرجع للتقرير اللي يدزي لي الجوجل ميت وأخذ حضوركم بهاي الطريقة. راح أكون موجودة بهذا الرابط. Have a nice evening. I'll be taking attendance. Thank you so much.
في أمان الله.